I'm Annika from RackBuddy and welcome back to our showroom in Frederiksberg. Today I'm going to show you how we're going to use the new KABE product, KABE Stone, on our floor in our office. KABE Stone is a colored filler that you can use on your floors to give them a concrete look. You can also use it on tables or in your bathroom. You might know KABE already from their products for the walls, and this is a new product that you can already buy on our website. You can get KABE Stone in 10 different colors, as you can see here, and you can choose if you want to have a matte or a glossy finish. With every order of KABE, you're going to get 1 bucket of the filler. It's enough for 5 square meters of your room. Then you're going to get a top coat and you're going to get a primer. You will also need some masking tape, some gloves, a roller, a brush, some spatulas in different sizes, and some sandpaper. The first step is to apply the primer on the floor. It has to cover the whole floor, and then afterwards it has to dry for 2 to 3 hours. Be aware that you have to use the primer later in the process as well, so don't use all of it. So now the primer is dry and we're ready to put on the filler. It has to cover the whole floor and should be about half a millimeter to a millimeter thick. The best way you do it is in soft curves, because it really lifts from the structure that you give it, and if you just do it in one direction, it's not going to look as good. I'm going to use the little spatula to take some of the filler out and put it on the big one, and then I'm going to start striding it on the floor. Now we finished the first layer of KABE and let it dry for 6 hours, and we removed the tapes when it was still wet, so we're ready for the next step. Before we put on the next layer, we have to see if there's some irregularities in the floor and then sand them away with sandpaper. You don't have to do the whole floor, just the major irregularities. So now we're done with sanding the whole floor and we're ready for the next step. But before we do that, we have to put the masking tape around all the edges to make sure that there's no KABE on the walls. So now we put masking tape around all the edges and we're ready to put the next layer of KABE on. But before we do that, we have to put another round of primer. And the cool thing now is that it doesn't have to dry, so you can just put it on and then right after you can put the KABE on. So now the primer's on and we're ready for the last layer of KABE. And here it's really important that you pay attention that it's looking the way that you want it to look. So if you want to have a softer look, then really make sure that you drag out all the edges. A little tip could be that you take your spatula and press the edges a little down so that you can get a softer look and not so many irregularities on the floor. You can avoid strong edges by holding the spatula in a lower angle, and also be aware that there's not too many bubbles. So now the second layer of KABE has dried and we have to sand it again. And this time it's important that you sand it in exactly the way you want it. So if you want it really smooth, then you have to sand a little more. If it's a little edgy, then a little less. In order to prepare for the next step, we're going to sweep the floor clean from dust. And we're going to put masking tape around the edges again. The next step is to put on the primer once again. We've already done that because there's a drying time of 2 to 3 hours, and now we're ready to go to the last steps of the KABE floor. Now we're going to put on the top coat in matte. It's important that you roll out everything evenly so that you don't have any knots on the floor when it's dry. So now the project is done and we have a brand new light pink KABE Stone floor. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and it inspired you for your own do-it-yourself project. Remember, you can buy all shades of KABE on our website RackBuddy.com, and thanks for watching.